All right. So now we're doing FreeCodeCamp, a legacy Python for everybody, files as a sequence. All right, so the volume's already turned down. Let's push play, push pause,
So we're
chill out. Open up to full screen, bring it back to the beginning, and let's type this out, files as a sequence. Let's get out the old notes. Here we go. Scroll to the bottom. All right. And we're still in chapter whatever. 7, I don't remember. Anyway, so let's do that. File handle as a sequence. Okay, let's do that. File handle as a sequence. There we go. So which one's this related to? This one, I guess. Okay, so file handle open for read. What? What kind of sentence is that? A file handle open for read. Okay. I guess it means when it's on read. So like the default, like we were talking about yesterday, how it, where is it? There's like an R and a W, right? The mode. I think that's what they're talking about. All right, so let's go, because this is a weird sentence. If, you know, whatever. All right, so a file handle open for read can be treated as a sequence of strings where each line, whoops, let's drop this down, where each line in the file is a string in the sequence. All right, here we go. We can use the for statement to iterate through a sequence. Okay, we can do that. Remember a sequence. That's a stupid looking word the more you look at it, right? Sequence. All right. Is an ordered set. Okay. Let's look at this. So X file. So this is this example, I think. So let's put it right here on this line. All right. So X file. Remember that show? I do. I remember when they were coming out new. Gillian Anderson used to be the finest girl on TV, I thought, back in the day. But it turns out she's a she's is what she is. You can't, like, you know, for cheese in X file. Okay, we're gonna print cheese. I hate nerd stuff. I really do. I hate it. Things that have nothing to do with each other other than, I guess, X Files is cheesy. I don't know. This cheesy like this joke. All right, so look, let's read this because I don't know what the heck is going on. All right. Little late summer congestion, whatever. File handle as a sequence. A file handle open for read or read, I don't know which one it is, can be treated as a sequence of strings where each line in the file is a string in the sequence. What? What? So we can... What? A file handle open for read can be treated as a sequence of strings where each line in the file is a string in the sequence. So each line, like, let's say this is the file right here because we got some lines. So if we open this up, this would be a string in a sequence, and this would be, so how would we, for cheese in X file? What? There's no cheese. Anyway, we'll have to listen to him say it. All right, let's get this going.
So we're going to find that there's a number of different ways that we can read through the file, but the most common way that we're going to read through the file is to treat it as a sequence of lines. And we're going to use the determinant loop, the for loop, to do this. And so what happens here is we get back this handle that opens the file and gives.
Okay, I see. All right. Let's look. Let's look at this. Let me open the notes. All right, so we got this print cheese, right? This for cheese and file. I'm pretty sure that this is going to the cheese. This is the stupidest thing. Let's change this for line and file because we're not ridiculous. How about that? We don't need these stupid moronic. What do you call these variable names anymore? Let's call them something that's real. Okay, so we're talking. So instead of cheese, we're talking about the lines. Let's say this was the file. We would print if this thing like this. Let's act like this isn't going to get highlighted. Okay, if we have this, if this is the file that's open, and we say for line in X file, all right. This would get printed. We would say print line. So this would be printed on the first line. Then we would go to the next line because it iterates. It's iterating through. It's going to go through this first, and then this line, and then this line, and then this line, and it'll print them all in order. I'm pretty sure that's what he's going to say. Let's listen to him say it now.
Gives us back the handle. That handle X file is the variable I named. I just named it X file. That's not the data, but it is a sequence. It is that file handle represents to Python a sequence that we can potentially walk through and then get all the lines. And
True. Okay, so this is the handle, right? Remember from the handle in the last video, right? So we got the handle. Where we got that? Handle. So this is the handle, right? So this is the handle to the filing cabinet. Remember, here's the filing cabinet right here. This is the handle to it, right? So to look through each file, we would say for file in X file, right? Or for line in X file or whatever, something that makes sense, not cheese, because we're not, because we know what romance is and we know how to talk to people of the opposite sex. You know what I'm saying? We don't just say stupid stuff just because we can. All right, let's go.
It's those simple.
And if you're saying, well, Code Man, not me, you better. Okay, this is that kind of channel, right? We're all confident. I don't want to say alpha because we're not freaking wolves, but we're all confident individuals with our own goals and a willingness to help each other out while also being wary of bad intentions from bad actors. Let's say that. Let's go.
Simplest, most beautiful, elegant way to read all the lines in a file. We use the for loop, and we have an iteration variable. This is going to take, when we talk about the file, cheese is going to be the first line, then the second line, then the third line, then the fourth line.
What did I say?
It's like going through a string, but you're going through a file now, and you're getting it line by line. So that's each line. I just picked a variable named cheese, so you didn't get confused. Later, I'll call this line.
So you didn't get confused. No, I was confused 100%. Chuck. Okay, if it wasn't for the fact that I've been tricked by you characters so many times that I know that this is another trick, blah, blah, blah. Chuck.
But Python doesn't know anything special by naming that variable line. Okay, and so it's the for and the in, and so I read this as for each line in the file handle X file. So run this loop one time.
Look, if this is your first exposure to coding, okay, we've got JavaScript is so much better for learning to code. That being said, let's keep going.
Time for every line and then print it out. So it's actually really quite simple. Okay, other languages like C or C++ or other languages, they have to write while loops with end of file conditions and all kinds of things that make this very difficult. But this is one of the prettiest things that Python has. It's a very, very pretty thing. Okay, so let's talk about.
Okay, so let's type this down. Let's do that. 13 minutes. This is going to be an hour. This is going to be an hour-long video. All right, let's crank. Let's do this. Good thing I just drank my coffee. Counting lines in a file. All right, counting lines in a file. All right. So we're going to open a file read only style. Okay. Okay. Well, I don't know what that means, but we'll get to it. We'll use a for loop to read each line. Okay. And then we're going to count the lines and print out the number of lines. Okay. Open a file read only. I think that's what this is. All right, so let's put that on this line. And then let's drop it down once we're done. All right, check it out. This is the new format. So file handle equals open. And we're not going to change inbox because it would, let's imagine that some Yahoo, some old crusty Yahoo that still does it this hard to read way sent us this inbox.txt. You know what I'm saying? Like some crusty old Yahoo that loves Harry Potter more than he loves, you know, hitting the gym, sent us a file that we got to open called inbox. You get what I'm saying? All right, and so count on this one equals 2, and we're skipping the line because this part is with this part. All right, so count equals 0. Actually, this part, the count is part of this part. So let's do like that. Let's skip a line. Let's go here, and let's say count equals 0. Oops. Count equals 0. And then we'll come down here and we'll say for line in file handle. And I like it better when it's like this too. What we're going to do inside of this for loop is we're going to say count equals count plus 1. Easy stuff. And then we're also going to print count. Use the for loop to read each file. I guess that's this part. Count the lines. Okay, so let's go down here. All right. Let's grab this. Let's do a Control X. All right, let's bring this back up. Let's drop this down 1. This isn't how it usually looks, obviously. Usually it would look different. This would be up here, but this, we're gonna make it look good. We're going to make it line up with this stuff. Okay. All right. So we've got this, and then we're also going to print. Actually, let's bring this up. Forget that. Print. Line count. So this is just a string. And we're also going to print the count, which will automatically put a space in there because that's what Python does. And then when we run the thing, all right, when we run it, so this little $sign thing. I was reading the how to do Rust book yesterday, just the beginning part, because I'm trying to expand. But regardless, this is the way we're gonna. This is just what it looks like in what they do in like command lines. Okay, this is the same this is like the representation. If this was a Mac, if this was a PC on Windows, if this was a Linux, this is the universal representation. Something everybody can somewhat agree on. Open.py. So we're going to do this. So this is running the program right here. And then when we say line count, it'll say line count. And there was this many, 1, 3, 2, 0, 4, 5. There was this many lines inside of this, okay? So that's basically what's going on here. Would it say count, though, too? Oh, no, it's this count. Okay. Okay, let's back this up, too. All right, that looks, I guess, good enough. I still don't love it, but it is what it is. maybe we'll do this to delineate. And then back it up. Maybe. I want it to look good and cool, but at the same time, sometimes it's not happening. All right, let's do it on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this. All right. So open a file read only. That's what we're doing here. This is the file handle. This is the handle right here. And it's read only because that's the default. Use a for loop for each line. That's this part right here. All right, the for loop. We're also going to count the lines, so we need to have the count here, and then the count here, count plus 1. And then we're going to print line count, and that's what happens here when we run the thing. We're Python open.py, that's the name of the thing, is open, right? And that's how many lines are in it. So that's it. Let's go.
About what we might do. And we're going kind of back to iterations now. What if we wanted to count the number of lines in a file? Well, this is a basic loop counting pattern. So we open the file, and then, like in all these loops, we do something to sort of prime the loop to get it started, set a variable count to 0. And I'm going to use the variable line that's going to go through each of the lines in the file, for line in fhand, down the file. And it's going to run this loop once for each line in the file, and the variable line is going to change. But all I'm going to do is add count equals count plus 1. And so that's just, like from counters, that's just how you detect. So every time we see a line, we're just going to add 1 to the counter. We're not printing the line. We're not even looking at its data at this point. And then when the line is done, however many times it has to go, out it comes, and we print out line count equals count. And so if we open inbox.txt, this is going to do all this work and then print this line out and say line count is 132,045. So this is a little 5-line program that shows you how to count the lines in a text file using Python.
Awesome. This is another thing, because I mean, people seem to be entertained when I talk smack. This guy says pretty and beautiful and elegant a lot, and then he just scribbles crap all over the screen. Like, what is this? Look, this looks like a little alien scratching his head, and then his tentacles going everywhere but where they should. Let's go.
Again, simple and elegant, and not too much
simple and elegant.
For you to have.
You heard it yourself. All right, reading the whole file. Let's do this. This is all example on this one. No, it's not. Anyway, let's do this. So reading the whole file. I don't know why it's got stars. Maybe we'll learn that in a little bit. Reading the whole. Let's do stars. Whole file. Boom. All right. So we can read the whole file, new lines and all, okay, into a single string. All right, so this read right here isn't the kind of verb that we are expecting. This is like read as in computer read, right? So you get what I'm trying to say? So this was like, we can read it line by line, or we can read it into it into line by lines, and we can read it into a single string. So this is a brand new definition. This read and this read. I mean, we've been saying it the whole time, but this read, it has the brand new definition and usage like this. So we can read the whole file into a single string. That's not a normal sentence. We can't read a book into the moon, but in computers talk, we can do this. All right. So now that we've got that cleared up, let's see. And another thing, this is the other way. So there's this way right here with the $sign. All right. And there's also this way. This way is PowerShell. I think that's what they said. And then this way is command line or something. I don't know. I don't really know. But these chevrons and this $sign is pretty much this. They pretty much mean the same thing. All right. So let's get this done. So file handle equals open. All right. And we're going to do inbox short .txt. Okay, so next line, let's come down here, and we're going to say what's imp? INP equals fhand.read. What is imp? We're going to have to change this once he tells us what that might mean. So file handle.read. We're not doing this. Look, I refuse. We don't need to code the code. We don't need to make the code even more codey. You know what I'm saying? It's already coded up. Print normies are not going to be, regular people that aren't into this are not going to be able to read this regardless. All right, we'll change up imp in a second. And then we'll say 9.4. Just type it out right now and then we'll go through it, right? 94626. Not that it matters. All right. And then right here, we're going to say print imp. All right. And then we'll have a :20. So we're going to go up to from index 0 to line 20, which is going to do this. What? Oh, yeah. This is the length of the. We'll find out. That's right. So we're printing 1 through 20. So here's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20 right here. All right. No, excuse me. 20 would be off the screen. This is 19 right here. Right. And then we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 0, 1, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, so that's what it would do. Because 0, yeah, anyway, there we go. So let's see what imp means, and then we'll go into this. I wonder what it is.
Now, it's also possible to read the file as a series of characters, all in one go. Read the whole file in. Now, you got to be careful, depending on the size of the file. This is going to lead to a string variable with a lot of data in it. Now, if it's, 100,000 characters, that's actually kind of a small thing. But if it was, 10 million lines, that would probably not be good. You'd want to read it one line at a time and process each line and then do something.
And that's the thing. When he says 10 million, he is dead serious. And that's just an average large number for these guys. Billions, trillions are numbers that they can see. I don't know what's trillion, quadrillions. I don't know if they go that high. We'll find out months from now, maybe even years.
mbox_short.txt is a small little file. So we open it and we get back a file handle object, and we call the read method. And that says, go through and read all the text and give it back in one big blob, one big string, and I'll put it in imp. And so that's where you have a line, a new line, a line, a new line, a line, a new line. It's not really lines, it's just
input. Let's change that. Let's change it. Input. All right. There we go. And let's change this to input as well. Input. All right. You're just going to copy and paste them most of the time anyway. So why not just 2 little letters? You're not going to, it's not like you have to skip doing those 2 letters 10 million times. You're only going to type it one time. So type the whole word out so people can read it. Whatever. Because look, you could in coding, and I know you know this, but I'm going to show you anyway because I don't care. You saw the cheese thing. It could be the variable name could be this. It doesn't matter. Well, not that. It could be this. It doesn't matter as long as it's characters, and then doesn't start with a number, and it doesn't. It's not like one of those special ones. It can be all this garbage, right? We know this. So just write the regular word. No big deal. Let's go.
Sequence of characters with new lines in there to punctuate them. And now you can split that. Later we'll see how to split that into separate lines if you want. Now I picked a file that was short. And so this imp variable now has a string in it, and I can use the len function, pass a string into the len function. It says, 94,626 characters. That's kind of a small little file, and perfectly okay to read it all in one go. And so now I say
Okay.
just print the first 20 characters. That's, beginning to up to but not including 20. And so it shows the first 20 characters of that little file is a from line, because this is a mailbox file. Now, let's say we're going to do a...
All right, let's cook. All right, let's do this. All right. Searching through a file. So searching through a file. Okay. All right. So we can put an if statement in our for loop to only print lines that meet some criteria. We're only at 5 minutes and this is a 26-minute video already. Oh my goodness. It's my fault. I can't shut up between these. All right. So file handle equals just like this. Let's just take this. Why not? I was watching a Primogean video. I don't know if you heard of that guy. He's like a coder. He's like a coding celebrity or something. And this guy can fly on the keyboard. Primogean. I don't know. I always see him in my what are those things called? In my like suggested. There's this guy named Primogean. I've never watched his stuff before, but like this guy, he can copy and paste and throw things around like nobody's business. It's ridiculous. For line in file handle. All right. What are we going to do? We're going to say if line dot starts with, all right, and it'll start with, come on, from. If it starts with from, what we're going to do is we're going to print that line. So basically, we're going to go through, and if the line starts with from, like let's say it says from whatever the guy's name was, Steve from wherever he was, South Africa or something. From Steve from South Africa, it's gonna print that line out. Okay, and I guess that's pretty good. Let's listen to him talk about it.
Searching. We did this loop where you're looking for something, and so we're going to search for lines that have a prefix of from. Okay, that's what we're going to do, and we're going to print those lines out. So there's lots of lines in this file. Line from, line from, right? On and on and on. And we only want to show these lines, the ones that match, right? That's what we want to do. And so we are going to write an open statement, and then we're going to loop through, and we're going to ask the question, if the line starts with from, print it. So sometimes it's going to skip, and then it's going to run it, and then skip, and it's going to run it, skip, and then it's going to run it. Okay? So that's the basic idea. And then it'll finish when it's all said and done. And so this is like a criteria. This is like a search. We're looking for lines that match the string, that have the string from as their prefix. Now, when we look at the output of this,
makes sense. All right, let's look at this. What are all these blank lines doing here? Okay, we're not going to type this down. Well, let's watch it.
Kind of weird. We see kind of these little blank lines that show up. Blank, 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 blank. What's going on here? What's going on? So let's take a quick look. The problem is new lines. Well, I mentioned that the file has new lines in them. And so when you do the for loop, it doesn't throw the new lines away. As you might expect, it would be kind of nice if it did, but it doesn't. It actually shows you, when you read, it reads that first line up to and including the new line and gives you that back as the variable.
All right.
So that is...
Okay, I didn't see that he typed this stuff. I didn't see that this came up. All right, let's type this stuff down. Let's type this down. Okay, this is interesting. All right, so we're not going to do that. Blank lines from the search. Dealing with blank lines from the search. All right. Okay. So each line from the file has a new line. At the end. Okay. And the print statement adds a new line to each line. Okay. Okay, so it adds a new line to each new line. Makes sense. All right, so I don't think we should type out this. Actually, we should. Let's type this stuff out. From Geronimo. I don't know how to spell his name. And then we're going to have a in. And then under that, we're going to have another in. And then we're going to have another from Giuseppe. All right. From Giuseppe and from Geronimo. And then we'll have another in, and we're not going to go too much harder than that. Another in like that. All right. So this in right here is going to be this is the new line from print, and this is the new line from the actual file. All right, cool. And that's basically what is going on. File NL, new line. And then we'll do print new line. All right, so that's basically what's going on here. All right. So we're probably going to have to do a strip on the init, like print strip line or line.strip. I don't remember how to do that. We'll look in the notes. But that's probably what we're going to have to do to fix this. So let's go.
Reads that first line up to and including the new line and gives you that back as the variable. So that is the first new line. So that means it's going to go down. And then the print statement actually adds another new line. So that's the second line of the file has a new line at the end of it, and the print statement adds another new line. So if we take a look at the code, there is a new line. Oops, come back.
Skipping is continuing.
If we take a look at the code,
so that's why
this variable line has a new line in it.
Okay. Searching through a file fixed. Okay. All right, let's do that. Searching through a file fixed. Okay. So we can strip the white space from the right hand side of the string using rstrip from the string library. I mean, yeah, I would have just used regular strip library. Library. There we go. That's a stupid word too. All right. And then we've got here the new line is considered white space. We know that. White space and is stripped off. True. All right. So, yeah. We can strip. Okay, so that's what we'll do here. So let's get this for line a new file. Let's see what we can do. Let's grab this. All right. Tab. One day I'll be fast at this. Not today, but one day. All right. So we got the for loop, and then we're going to have line equals line dot strip. Okay. So we'll do that. And we're also, all right, let's do this. So line equals line dot strip, r strip. All right. And then we're going to do down here an if statement. If line dot starts with, oh, we already got that. Let's grab this, copy it, paste it here. All right. We're going to print line. All right. So let's type, bring this over. If that's the case, print line here. Also, we're inside a for loop, so these need to be tabbed over. All right. So print line here. And this is inside the, okay, cool. So what will come out of this will be something like this. From Geronimo, and then it'll come down here, and it'll be from Giuseppe. All right. And let's put some dots after that too. From Giuseppe, ... All right. And then these are where the new lines are right here. There's a new line here, and there's a new line here, but these are going to be the new line from print, and this is also the new line from print. New line from print. All right. So we don't have the file new line anymore that was already in it because we did this strip, and the only new line at the end, which would be here, 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 and here, because there would be the ... So there's going to be new lines on all of them. These new lines are from the print and not from the file itself. All right, so let's go. Boom.
Oops, where am I at? I'm on the wrong slide. There we go.
All right.
Yeah, this is what I want to do. If we look at the code, there's a new line in here, and then the print adds another new line.
True,
so the print adds a separate new line. And that's how we get two new lines. The print statement's new line and the new line from the file. Here's how we fix it, and you're going to write this code a lot because when you're reading text files, you end up with a new line, and often you don't want the new line. But thankfully, as we saw in the previous chapter, there is a nice little function in Python for strings called strip that allows you to throw away white space.
True.
And to review, remember white space is anything that doesn't print. And this new line is not a non-printing character. So our strip gets rid of it. So it's a way to get rid of white space. And our strip does it from the right end. So it's the right end of the string. And so if we just are going to loop through all the lines in the file, we say line equals line r strip, and then this variable no longer has the new line at the end of it. We have our little if statement, and if we print it, then this line, the data has no thing, and then the data has no new line in it, so the print only goes down one. And so now we have single-spaced output. And so you're going to be doing that a lot. It's really common to read through
I mean, look, I can't blame the guy on saying it so mishmashily. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you've heard me say things before that just string together and have no actual coherence. Maybe even this right now. So I don't want to judge him on that, but because I do it too. But I will still talk smack because of the wizard crap. Cannot stand it.
File and then just strip the new line or any trailing space off the end of that. Now, there's a couple of ways to do a loop like this.
Okay, here's some more. Jeez, how much? I gotta. All right, we're gonna take a break. I'm gonna say sometime later and come back to this because I need to go do something else. But yeah, we'll get back to this in a second and finish up the video. You go do something or carry on because it's going to be 3 seconds between this and the next part of the video. All right, so here we go and see you then. All right, we're back. Pardon me. All right, we're back. Here we go.
Now,
Did we already type this down though? Skipping with continue? I don't believe we did. So let's get out the old notes. Let's do that. All right. So I guess this looks better, huh? This new line is considered white space. The new line is considered white space and is stripped. Yes, that is true. Oh, look. Yeah. Because we did this before. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Anyway, so let's get back to it. What did that say? Skipping with continue. You got it. Let's do it. Skipping with continue. Okay. And what this is saying is that we can conveniently skip a line by using the continue statement. Okay, so we can conveniently skip a line by using the continue statement. Pardon me. Okay, let's grab this line by line. There we go. And then on the next line, let's see if we can copy this and paste it. How many times do we need it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that. Look at that. Let's do it. All right. Fantastic. You know what else? Watch this. Let's see if we can at least grab this. I think we can. Let's grab that and drop it here, and then grab all this, and I don't think we need it anymore. So right here, let's put in the continue, if not line. All right, so lined up our strip, if not line, right? This is very bad quality. It's on HD, but whatever. Are my eyes getting blurry? Whatever. All right, so if not line, let's put that right there. If not line starts with this, what we're going to do is continue. Continue. Okay. Oh, yeah. Continue it's just instead of breaking out, it doesn't break, but it goes to the next iteration. So, slick move. I like that. Oh, I like that. So if not line starts with from whatever, we're just going to continue, right? So we can get rid of that if statement, looking for, and then okay. Let's see what he says. I want to know exactly what's happening here.
There's a couple of ways to do a loop like this, and let's just think of this as we're looking for a line, a file with lots.
Hold your horses. Did we already do this? Did he go back? I can't remember because I took a break. I don't remember. All right, let's see. Searching through a file fixed. Oh. Let's do this. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, we have that. Let's go back over to the bottom. Let's go back to the bottom and then go.
Lots of different lines in it, and we want to ignore all the lines except some, say, good lines, and we want to do something with those good lines, or the lines we're looking for. Needle in a haystack. This is like searching for a needle in the haystack. So if you look at this code,
that's right there. What he just said, that's why computers are great, because if we can just find the thing we're looking for using one keyword in it throughout a document. I mean, we do Google searches all the time, but just think about, the find and finding that one thing that starts something you're looking for, like a keyword, and then after that, everything is information you want. That's what I like about these things. Let's go.
At high level, we're going to loop through everything, and then we're sort of picking which lines are, and these are the good lines down here. Now often we have a bunch more code that we want to do, and we're not just printing them, but we're going to do a lot of code. So sometimes you actually structure the loop a little bit differently. And so the way to do it, and this is going to do the exact same thing, it's just a little different way of thinking about this loop. So the top part is the same, we're stripping it, and what we're doing here is everything's the same here except we add this not. If the line does not start with from, that's the translation of that. If the line does not start with from, continue. So basically we have a skipping pattern. So the lines we're not interested in, we skip. So we come down, we skip a lot of lines. And then we find a line that's good, and then we fall through. So this is the good code, and then we have all the other good code that we want to do to that line. We have that showing up down here. And so there's just two patterns, two ways to do the exact same thing. So another way to patterns
I forgot I was making a video.
Same thing.
Yeah, I just wanted to see that transition, the little transition that happened between the cuts. Anyway, whatever. So let's do this. Using in to select lines. Let's type that out. See what's going on. Also, he didn't really go too much over this, did he? But if that's one way. Skip a line, yeah. If that's one way to get this going on without... No, we still have to strip it, but... What? What? Why is this better than this? This isn't better than this. This is one little line, or two lines, and this... Not two lines, but this one has a lot less character, a lot fewer characters than this one. I don't know. Well, it has this many fewer characters. And this many fewer characters. No way. And this many, yeah, because we still need to print. Let's go back. Let's go back on this.
And so there's just two patterns.
Chill. All right, I want to look at this. Okay, let's back up. Let's get out the notes, because I didn't write those notes down right. That's part of learning, bros. All right, so we're outside the if statement. We're doing print line. Yeah, I wasn't even. All right, so yeah, that's what we're doing right there. Now we should be good. Let's go forward.
Just a little.
So right here, we can watch. Look, let's watch the transition one more time. He's going to be right here, then it'll like morph down to here. It's an editing technique. I would do the same thing. I would definitely do the same thing. Let's go.
Two ways to do the exact same thing.
Watch. There it was. You saw it. You saw it. He went from like right here to right here. Right. Cool. All right. So let's type this down. Using in to select lines. All right. So we can do that right here. Using in to select lines. That'll be good. All right. So we can look for a string anywhere in a line as our selection criteria. Okay. I wonder what that means. Let's look at this. So we've got, let's take this and drop it off like thus. For line and file handle, line equals line strip. Okay, if not specific, I guess it's if not do we have to have at? Space at? There's not a space there. Do we have to have the at? I think it would hit this and this and this and this. Is this at the same as this at? I think so. Anyway, if not specific, let's do that. If not, And let's do this. Something specific. All right. So this is like the way that we're delineating the fact that this could be anything. Let's put that there. In line, and then we'll say in line. We'll do that. We'll continue. Okay. If not, a string. String. Yeah, basically that's how that would work. Continue. I guess that's what he's talking about on this one. We can look for a string anywhere as a line, in a line as our selection criteria. String. Yeah, we can do that right now. String. Does that make sense? Is this better? I think this is good too. Is this cool? Hold on. Is this cool? I think that's even cooler. All right, so what we're gonna do? Okay, so let's watch him talk about it.
Another way to select the lines that we're interested in is to use the in operator. So we talked before about the in operator and how that works. So we're basically going to use the continue skipping method. So we're going to read all the lines, these first few lines. If uct.ac.za is not in the line, skip it. And so this is going to print out all the lines that have the string uct.ac.za in them. And so you see this is the output of the program.
Look, we're Americans. I don't know why he just said Z. In America, it's Z. What do you, who's paying you? Z.
Sometimes you'll have...
It's like with the Eastern Europeans, and they can tell you're a Western spy. This is the meme when you can't Slav squat. You know what I'm saying? When I hear a person with an American accent say something like Z, I'm like, what do you know, England's not America, right? You know that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't got anything. I'm not a global politician or anything like that. But when you're from a place, you know, maybe he lived in England. Who knows? Let's go. Because that's
have programs that want to read different files. Often I give assignments where I say, show me how this program runs on the short file, and then show me again how it runs on the long file, just like...
Yeah. Now that I think about it, if you like lived in another place and you were around some people, you're allowed to pick up their little words for things, right? But I've never lived in England, so I will never say Z. I will always say Z. You know, because I mean, this guy could have, even if he lived there for like 2 months. Yeah. Okay, cool. Never mind. I give him a pass. And I take back what I said earlier. Also, let's go back and listen to him say Z again.
You'll have programs that want to read different files. Often I give assignments where I say, show me how this program runs on the short file, and then show me again how it runs on the long file, just like this. And so the way we program that in and print out all the lines that have the string uct.ac.za in them. And so you see this is the output of the program.
I heard him say it. I'm cool though.
Sometimes you'll have programs that want to read different files.
Okay, let's look at this before. What is this? So there's a variable f name equals input, and then we do a little string. It's an input that says enter the file name, right? F hand equals open f name. Okay, I like that. Count equals 0. Okay. For line in f hand and file handle, I gotta write this down. I don't like that. Trying to deduce what this is, even though I know what it is. All right. let's write this down. So file name, let's do this. Prompt for file name. Let's call this prompt for file name. Prompt for file name. All right. So also, if you say whatever you want, you can say whatever you want. Like, who am I to tell anybody anything, right? Just, you know, who am I? Who am I? You got to reflect on things sometimes. All right, so let's do this. Prompt for file name. What's it called? File name? File name equals input. And then we'll say enter the, let's bring this down. Enter the file name. I don't like that, but I don't like it being this low. Let's shorten it up. Bring this down. And put it up here. All right, there we go. All right, file name input. And then we'll say enter the file name. Like this. We'll say file handle equals open file name. Hold on, let's open and close these things and then go back and do it. So we don't forget, you know? So open file name. All right, so we got that. And we've also got account, which equals 0. Like that. How about that? All right, so let's say for line in file handle. Handle? Yeah, okay. Okay, so if line starts with, and then we'll do subject, like that. Oh, we gotta cap it out off with a regular colon, all right? And then what else will we do? We're gonna say, if that's the case, we're gonna say count equals count plus 1, okay? And then we'll, outside of the if statement, outside of the for loop, we'll say print. Okay, this one, a couple more of these, and that. Okay, so right here we'll do there were, all right, count, okay, subject, line in, okay, frame. No, not frame. File name. Lines. Subject lines. Okay. So when we do this, let's make this bigger now. All right. So when we do this, it'll do this. It'll say, let's bring it over right here. Let's put it here. Like that. And then let's have it over 1. Okay. And we'll say, let's say $, enter the file name. No. Let's run this thing. Let's call it something else also. Let's call it example. Let's do this. Example.py. How about that? All right, so we're going to call exam. It should be lowercase though, right? We're going to call example.py. All right. We're going to say Python space and then that. All right. So we got that. Now we're going to come down here and act like we ran it. Okay. So when this runs, we're going to say enter the file name. All right. And then we'll put inbox.txt. I'll put it like this. Or do we do it like this? No, it is like this. Okay, so it would be inbox.txt. All right. And then what will come out will be there were 179, doesn't matter honestly, 1897 subject lines in inbox.txt. So there were count, so this is the count, subject lines in, all right, and then the file name right here. Okay, I like that. And so if we did it again, it would do something else. It would do, we should copy this. Paste it here. Copy this. Paste it here. Call this 27. Somebody the other day, inbox, let's say short. Somebody the other day gave me a comment on one of my videos saying, why don't I use the keyboard shortcuts? And you know why? Because I haven't learned it. And also, I don't feel like I'm there yet where I need to be doing keyboard shortcuts. I'm trying to make this as natural a learning experience for me as possible. This is how I'm actually learning it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think I'm ready for keyboard shortcuts until I understand how to code. You know what I'm saying? How to actually exactly code. Because once I'm actually cranking out stuff, then I will naturally say, if we can do this faster, I would like to. And I know we can because I've seen videos of people cranking out code with keyboard shortcuts, right? And they go fast. So yeah, there we go. Let's get back to it. Okay, so we've got this list. I haven't even talked about it.
Often I give assignments where I say, show me how this program runs on the short file, and then show me again how it runs on the long file, just like this. And so the way we do that, to input the file name, instead of making the file name be a constant to the open call, we make the file name be a input. So we just run an input statement, which gives us a prompt, and then we type inbox.txt, and then that shows up in this variable f name. It's of course a string all the time, and we pass that into open, and then we open it, and then we do, you know, the count operation. So if we enter inbox.txt, it counts 1797 subject lines in inbox, and if we give it inbox short, it says there are 27 subject lines in inbox. And again, this is another one of those ifs, and it's just counting, but only counting lines that match a particular pattern.
Okay. Anyway, so that makes sense. Especially the thing where it's like 19. This is pretty normal for an inbox of a email, right? Like, especially if you're getting spammed all the time, right? I think so. So let's get back to it. Bad file names. Let's type this down. All right. Let's analyze this before we start typing. So, okay, so we're going to do bad file. So it's going to be just like this. Okay, we'll do that. What are we going to do? Oh, it's a try. We're going to put a try and accept it. All right, awesome. Let's do that. So let's call it bad file names. All right. And we'll have example.py. And then we'll tab it over. We'll knock it down 1, 2, and then tab it over. All right. So what we're going to do is look at this. Okay, same thing that we got here. So all we're going to do is insert the try and except into the code we already have. So let's do this. Let's take all this. All right. And let's drop it off like this. Okay. And we'll change this stuff up when it's time to change it up over here. No, we don't need to at all, actually. All right. We'll see what we got to change it up. All right. So let's do it. Let's enter a try and except into this thing. So we're on bad file names. Let's put a try. Let's say example, bad example. Let's call it bad example. Bad example.py. We're going to run bad example.py. All right. So let's do a try right here. Whoa. Let's enter a try right here. Okay. Let's say try. And then we'll do this. Except. And then we'll do an except. Except. And then we'll print file cannot be opened fname. So file. So we'll do this and we'll say file cannot be opened with a colon, and then we'll have comma file name. Okay, so we got that. Let's move this down and quit under that. All right, so let's do that. Quit like that. So now we've got count equals 0. Oops, quit like this. All right, so now we've got count equals 0. For line in this, that. So this is the same down here. And so now when we, Oh, I see. Enter the file name. Let's just call it inbox wrong. Instead of this nonsense. And then under there, it's going to say file cannot be opened. Inbox wrong. .txt. All right, so it's just like that. It does that. All right, so yeah, let's look at this. Actually, let's get this. Let's do a control cut. Let's come over here. Control X. All right, and let's drop this here. Instead of that, let's drop it here. All right, I like that. All right, so what's going on is we've got, we shouldn't call it bad example. Bad catch bad? Catch bad. Example. Yeah, let's do that. Catch bad. That's good enough. All right, so we're doing the file name, enter the file name, right? So that's what this is right here, enter file name, inbox.txt. Try. If this works, cool. All right, and if it works, we don't have to do the except. We can just say count equals 0 and then go through what we did before. And it will print out this stuff right here. It'll print out this one. When it checks it in, it's all good. We do this inbox wrong.text, which doesn't exist. It comes here, try, doesn't work, except print file cannot be opened, space, file cannot be opened, colon, and then a space because of this, the print. That's what the print method does. So it says file cannot be opened, colon, space, inbox, wrong, txt. Looks good. So let's hear him talk about it. I didn't want to write that.
Okay, so now the user can also type bad file names, and we need to be able to deal with that as well. And so we're taking a small change to the code. The dangerous code is this line right here. This line right here is going to trace back if that file doesn't exist. So what do? Well, we're going to just expand that. The rest of this program is exactly the same. The only thing's different is we've got this line. We took out insurance on it, and we know that it might blow up, and so we have it in a try and except block. So here's how the code runs. So, the input runs, we type in a good file name, it comes in here. This works, and so it skips the except, and so it runs the code and prints out the count. So that's the good pattern. The bad pattern is here, where we type in a bad file name, it comes in the try except. This file name is nanaboo, and it's going to blow up, so this line blows up, so it jumps down into the except code, prints out, file cannot be opened. So it prints this out. Now this quit is really important, because if we don't put this quit in here, it's going to continue down here, and that's going to blow up here because file handle is not defined properly at this point. And so what we have is we have this quit. Quit is a special function where it comes in and never returns. So this is a way to terminate the entire Python program silently with no traceback. Right? So we put in our own error message, so we look like we're professional, say, oh, could not open this file, and then we stop. If you don't, it's going to come down here and it's going to trace back right there. It's going to blow up. So the quit is useful when you want to stop executing because you've detected some kind of an error.
Professional.
So that's a quick zoom through opening and...
Very professional. I like that. All right, so let's type this out. Hopefully this doesn't take too much longer. There's already at 32 minutes on the second part of this video. So let's type this summary down, because that means we're done with the chapter. All right, summary. So let's do it. We're going to say secondary storage. Secondary storage. Okay, so this is talking about I think that's talking about the hard drive, the SSD, or the whatever you used to call the one with the discs. I think that's what that's talking about. So let's say the hard drive. I don't think there's anything else to that. The hard drive. Okay. Opening a file handle, right? File handle. Yes. Let's do it like this. All right, opening a file handle. Let's go look at that real quick, because I kind of don't remember exactly what it is. File handle. Is it sequence? No, character. What is a handle? I didn't even freaking tell it. What is a handle? It's a thing that's not the entire file that accesses the file. It's an accessor for the file. I guess that's what it is, right? It's a file accessor. So we don't have to go through. It's a file accessor. A file accessor used as a proxy for the file itself. A proxy is like a stand-in, like an Avatar. Remember that dumb movie? I never seen it, honestly, and so I'm going to call it dumb movie because it just looks so stupid. What was it called? Avatar. Remember how they were like getting in an Avatar, right? And like, I think the guy that was, handicapped got into the brain something, and the brain transmitter, and then he could control the body of a different one of those guys. I never saw the movie. It looks so stupid. But regardless, that's what a proxy is. This is just a stand-in. It's a stand-in. I don't even forget the Avatar thing because I never seen that movie. It's a stand-in so that we don't have to use the entire file. It's just, okay, this will open the file, right? So let's go to the next one. File structure. Okay. New line. Character. It's the \n that sends the displayed message to the next line? Question mark. Sounds good. Let's also drop this down and make it go over like that, and we go to the next line. All right, so what we're doing now is reading a file line by line with a for loop. Hold on, let's go to the front. Do this. Read a file. Reading from the front over here. A file line by line with a for loop. Yeah, that method we did. That for loop method we did in the notes. Let's say refer to that. Refer to that for loop method we did in the notes. All right. Yes, refer to that. And that's this thing right here, like this right here. Is this the for loop? Yeah. Here's one of the for loop methods. We also did skipping with continue, searching through a file, dealing with break lines, searching through. Okay, so yeah, right here, this for loop, that's what they're talking about. We're talking about right there. All right, so let's go to the next one, which is searching for lines. Searching for lines. Using the how was it? Searching for lines. What is a handle? Searching through, dealing with blank lines, searching through a file. Fixed, skipping with continue, using in to select lines. Okay. So here we go. Using in to select lines. I guess that using in statements to search for particular strings, inside lines, inside lines. We want to find. This is a stupid one. Using in statements to search for particular using in statements to search for particular strings inside lines we want to access. Okay. Yeah, it does get tiring making this stuff after a while. But you know what? We got to keep going. Reading file names. So, I can almost relate. I can relate to like FreeCodeCamp when like it gets like really taxing towards the ends of the courses. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, aren't you getting paid? Aren't they getting paid? So reading file names. How do we do that? Let's go look at that. Reading file names. Reading the whole file. This side. Reading file names. Reading file names. Using the open function, right? Right? Using the open function. Is that what we... Is that using the open function? Yeah, using the open function to read file names. Yeah, we can do that. All right. And the next one, dealing with bad files. All right. So using the try except method. Using the try except method as per the notes. How about that? All right, so that's what I think about all those. Let's hear what he has to say. He'll probably skip it like he usually does. Let's go.
Reading through files and doing some patterns. Most of the rest of the programs in this course are going to say open for rstrip, look for, and then do something interesting. That's going to be our loop that we're going to do over and over and over again. And now we see how this looping and if and iteration and variables are starting to come together, and you can actually sort of do a program that does something useful. But before we get to too many more programs, we got to switch a little bit, switch gears, and talk up next about data structures, and that is the shape of data, and how we can use more intricate and complex variables to help solve our problems.
Okie dokie, that's the end of that, finally. All right, so here we go. We're doing an exercise on the next one, so we'll save this for the exercise video. What? Files B. Oh, okay. That's what he called it, but they called it this. All right, whatever. Anyway, so there's that. So now we're on to exercise, and we'll see you next time.